There we
That's all
go.
right.
Look at that.
This the Street Urchin enchantment legendary background. I think this is the sack outlet for the Hulk. And then I'm sure there's a. I think then it uses some sort of loop with Dockside and Teamer Sabretooth to win the game.
So it looks like we might be having some sort of technical difficulties here. Shout out to Alex, our production manager. I don't want to get too far ahead on this deck, but we are fixing things right now. Alex is rocking the new top deck polo, but it looks like something may have gotten unplugged here. Alex on the case fixing right now.
Look, I'm
Bear
just
with
ready to
us.
talk about Magic. I'm ready to talk about cEDH. I'm talking about this Erinis deck. I'm obsessed with cEDH right now. I'm here for the spice. I've heard about this Erinis deck now that I think about it. I think I've seen this guy posting. He's like the only person who plays this deck, and he actually has performed pretty well with it at his locals. I think he's won his locals like a few times with this deck now that I think about it. So interested to see how this plays out. Ooh. And getting right into the action here, we see the Undercity Sewers come down, and then a Kinnan right out the gate from Logan. Sam Black dropping a fish, hoping to get fed, but in a pod of 3 creature decks. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, that's a tough. It's weird to say it's a tough Mystic Remora, but in seat 3 in a creature centric pod, really the person who's going to be feeding you the most is Eric in seat 1. But they had a pretty anemic start.
Oh, going
Looks like
for
we're
Dark
feeding a little
Ritual.
bit. We Nazing? Simian Spirit Guide into Naz? Or we Necropotence? Ooh.
Dropping a card. Oh, DarkRit's still on the stack. Looks like there's some discussion.
Okay.
Necropotence coming down immediately. Alrighty. Maybe this game will be over faster than we thought.
This is another tricky situation, though. You know, if you fail, and you do have a fail rate, depending on how deep you go, there's a lot of power that can quickly amass on the board to threaten your life total if you're really digging.
Well, I would feel pretty good about this. There's a turn 2 Necro. Your opponents have basically said, we don't have interaction. There's a mental misstep coming out on the Soul Ring. I don't know if that's really the place to cut it off, but it might stop a reign of terror. Yeah, we know that our opponent in the second seed has just played a Kinnan and passed. They don't have interaction. Sam Black's relying on that Mystic Remora to kind of keep him alive. So we know he doesn't have interaction for the Necro unless he draws it. And then on the last seed, they're playing Gruul, so nothing to worry about. The real fear here is really getting hit. Is it Golgari? No, I'm pretty sure it's Gruul.
Oh, Street Urchin. I was thinking of oh gosh. Never mind. I was thinking of the one where you draw 2, discard 1.
No. The Street Urchin is the sack outlet here, remember. Now, the thing you fear here is some sort of Stax piece dropping down from the 4th seat, and then you kind of just get locked out and get beat to death. But in the meantime, I think you're feeling pretty good with the untapping with Necro next turn, going deep.
Yeah, it looks
I'm
like
having
Eric
a little trouble seeing that
5.
life total, but I think it's 26 or something like that.
Eric discarded 2 cards. I think he had 4 or 5 in hand, so I think about 5 to 10 maybe.
He must have paid 10. I think that's the usual heuristic. Some people like to pay half your life, but I think that's currently outdated.
Gotcha.
Alrighty.
And we're passing the turn.
Dockside's notably not fed. Relic of Legends coming down. Combo piece alert.
Your alarm bells are going off yet?
I don't know if they're going off yet, but that's a lot of mana. The Kinnan and the Rograk and the Relic. That's plus 3 mana off the bat. Cradle's getting larger. I'm sure we're going to see more creatures come down, but we're kind of just setting up. The thing is, the Relic of Legends is agnostic of how big your Dockside is for combos in this deck, but you need something like a Ragavan or whatever to kind of get that going.
True. And it looks like I saw in player 2's hand there is a Paradise Mantle, so I think there's 3 cards at hand, one of which is more mana. Not sure how much deeper we can go unless we start drawing in some action.
I think we're about to see a Thrasios Passios, to be honest. Lots of thinking for Thrasios Passios.
Yeah, Thrasios I've heard is pretty good when you have a lot of mana.
There it is, Thrasios Passios.
Yeah.
Who could have seen this one coming?
Dang. Mile away, you saw it.
Really important to keep the dockside count in mind for this game. No one's really feeding that dockside count, even though there's 3 and almost like 3.25 decks who care about how big their dockside is to kind of win the game here.
Yeah, it's a pretty slim count right now. If you're in seats 3 or 4, it's 2.
Yep.
Maybe wonder if that was a consideration on the mental misstep on the Soul Ring to try to cut other opponents off of mana and Eric off of mana.
I think Sam Black was just hoping to cut him off mana going into the next Necro turn. Notably, you'll notice because the Relic of Legends came down, Eric's life total stays pretty comfy there. He didn't get attacked.
Yeah, you can get a healthy Necro on the next turn. Feasibly put in 18 to 20.
Yeah, we're about to see a deep Necro. See what he can cook up.
Cameo by Finn. Hi, Finn.
Oh yeah, I don't think the viewers can see that, but
oh yeah, they can't. That's our secret. We have an Verdant Catacombs. We are fetching. This street. Yeah. I still you do Ernest loops with Street Urchin.
So the Street Urchin I think is the sack outlet for the Hulk. I actually couldn't figure out what the Hulk pile was, but I saw that there was like a Teamer Sabertooth and a Dockside in the deck. So I assume it's related to that. I see there's like Snoop lines, maybe like Kiki Jiki and stuff could be a thing that happens, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not super familiar with the Gruul lines, but I play Magic enough. I think there's like Kiki Jiki and Sabertooth lines that eventually win you the game from the Hulk.
So certainly some sort of brewer's advantage too, coming from Kirkland, where you and I a no-rod from.
Yeah, that's what you're afraid of if you're Sharky, but I mean Eric, sorry, but yeah, I think he can still work around it.
Brutal showing. Hate to see it.
And the thing with this null rod is it doesn't turn off Logan's mana. Oh wait, no, it does turn off his mana. My bad. The abilities on the Relic of Legends. I almost made a boo-boo there.
That would have gone, 25 cents in the curse jar. Every time Zane and I misspeak, 25 cents does go into the curse jar. And at the end of it, I get all the money. So Zane, please keep making boo-boos.
So Sam Black didn't draw a land. And that fish is gonna die next turn. Like if you're Eric right now, then sitting on a Necro is still okay. Sure, there's a null rod now, but
the most like deadpan. Like, so we see here Sam Black did not play a second land.
Lots of thinking occurring. Now this is a double Rog Thras pod. Rog Thras is actually almost 3% of the meta here at Cowtown Throwdown. There are 6 decks. No, sorry, there's 6 decks that are playing Rograk Thrasios.
I did want to point out too, I ran this pod through the cEDH Almanac, which I want to shout out Datatog for. Thank you very much for providing this tool for us with this data for events run on Command Tower. This pod composition in over 38,000 games tracked on Command Tower has never existed before. And I really think the Erinis Gloomstalker and the double Rog Thras is the big reason for that. If I remove Erinis from the equation, we still have never actually seen this pod comp before. So, first out of almost 38,500 games, you're seeing it for the first time. So we have no data on who wins this pod.
I'm actually starting to favor this Erinis deck right now to win this tournament, or not this tournament, this pod.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because I don't see how these Rog Thrash decks are gonna work through that Null Rod. I don't think any of them kept answers. Eric DTing right now, so that should send some alarm bells. Oh, hey, by the way, the Street Urchin is the outlet for the win because you can sacrifice an artifact, so he can sack his own Null Rod when he needs to go off. So that's kind of cool.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, so that doesn't turn off his own deck. I know some of the viewers might be like, "Oh, I thought you said this was Teamer Dockside loops or something." No. He can sack that Null Rod whenever he wants. Being able to turn off your own stacks in these Stax decks and then just winning, it's pretty nice. I like these combo-oriented Stax decks of old, where you kind of just slow down the table for a turn or two and then just assemble your combo and win the game, versus these like new age stack decks that are like, I'm going to do 120 damage. Those decks they weren't winning when we had 120 minutes on the clock. They're not winning now.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I think if you can implement stacks in a way that you can easily remove it while also maintaining your own trajectory or game plan, you're going to win games, as opposed to just people are going to find ways over time to get out from under your stacks.
All right. Eric moving to end step here? Or what's going on?
Yeah, he put 5 into Necro after D-tutoring.
Not going too deep. Maybe just looking for a Thoracle consult.
We have...
everyone's pointing to Relic of Legends.
I believe that was an Atali being cast.
Yeah.
Oops. Yeah,
oops from the table. 25 cents for Lauren.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Yeah, if you were going into your turn planning to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 mana or 11 mana, and you went from 11 mana, now you have 4. It's a pretty backbreaking misplay, unfortunately. It happens. Stax are
Null Rod looking pretty good here. All right, this fish is gonna die. Sam Black, it's do or die.
That's the issue with starting early in the morning. I found missing things like that, but it happens.
It's okay. In my round ones at these tournaments, I'll be like jet lagged to high heaven, and I'll be like sitting there, be like, yeah, this 7 looks good, and then I'll be like, wait, I can't play Magic. I can't cast any of these spells.
That's what I'm like saying. It's the players' meeting. Yeah, no, I found round 1 to be, I think, some of the most pressure. It's early. Flying in from the West Coast. I know you and I were flying in from the West Coast. You're 3-hour time difference. Yep. And you also want to start with a win to not be in the the lower seeds as the tournament goes. So, in my opinion, a lot of pressure on the first round to really set the precedent for your tournament.
Yeah, the round 1 really is just like a nice mental thing where it's like, oh, I've won the round 1. That's good. I can hope my breakers are better. Earthcraft coming down, combo piece. That does get around Null Rod.
Eric, very confused.
I would be confused too. I had that happen to me recently. I was playing against like a Riel deck. Oh, combo piece really coming down here. Wild growth on the forest.
Very good.
That's pretty scary, actually.
Yeah, that's a lot of mana, and that's a lot of mana that can get around, as you said, Null Rod.
Yeah.
That Stax piece, I mean, the Null Rod is, I think, obviously kept Logan in check. We just stopped Natali from being cast. It's keeping Eric in check, but I think the left half of the table is certainly favored right now.
Yeah, let's see what Kirkland can cook up here. I'm hoping that like the plan wasn't just Null Rod into nothing, but I think this guy knows his deck.
We have a Goblin Recruiter.
Goblin Recruiter should be getting Conspicuous Snoop, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, you can stack I think you search your library for as many goblins and put them on top of your library in any order, right?
Yep. Now, if he has the Snoop in his hand, I think that's GG.
No, we see Snoop, Kiki Jiki, Snoop's at the
Snoop
bottom of that
TTG
pile.
Torch Courier, I think, might be in that pile.
If we have a way to crack
Dockside.
that pile, Dockside's pretty good. If we have a way to crack that pile, that Tinderwall can cast the Snoop, right?
Yes.
Interesante.
Either the game ends here or it ends in the next turn cycle. So that's what we're looking at. So it's pretty much do or die for everyone here at the table. If I get a turn as Eric, I'm feeling pretty good. If only because I don't think my opponents have anything. They don't have any interaction.
I agree, and I think Eric does, given how much he's been able to sculpt it.
Now, if it's possible, you might just be dying right here on the spot. But let's see what happens.
Dockside first, then Snoop, Kiki Jiki, then Torch Courier. So Dockside count is not. It's 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's better than I thought.
Yeah.
We have Wild Growth, Earthcraft, Necropotence, Relic. Yeah, Dockside count.
This might be too little, too slow right now. If we're passing the turn. All right, doing some reading here, doing some understanding.
Yeah, that's. If I'm Eric, I'm like, great. There's 2 cards I've had to read now: Conspicuous Snoop and Earthcraft. That's too much thinking.
Come on, Eric, you gotta play more Magic. You have to instantly grok what's happening at the table. You need to look at the commanders and you need to be like, what could be the combo right now? Oh, okay, I got it. I figured that out instantly. Come on.
Just ask them. Like, hey, how does your deck win? Okay, so I think we have. Okay, there we go. There we go. How do we? Okay,
unfortunately, the null rod turns off your top.
Yeah. Maybe he's just setting up for next turn. That mental.
They are in fact setting up for next turn. Yeah, that mental misstep used on a Soul Ring that would not have tapped for any mana.
We have a Daze in response. How is that Daze being cast?
No, that's a Chain of Vapor.
Oh,
being cast on the null rod.
Understood. So that art is very similar.
Thrasios being activated. Steam Vents being revealed. Yeah, they could just bounce the Necro, but in response, he could just pay a bajillion life into it.
But you don't get those cards to your end step. Oh, but then you just hit the.
Yeah, it's it doesn't really matter. Would you like to copy the chain? No, I would not. Okay. Final Fortune.
Yeah.
Kirkland here saying, thanks for nothing. You did the work for me.
I like that.
Totally. He passed priority on his end step and was like, yeah, I know you're going to bounce my null rod and go for the win. Let it happen. And was like, okay, I'm going to use your hate of this null rod to then just go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, thanks for helping.
Unfortunately, I think that's exactly what's going to happen here. What a play. What a play. Genius. And I think you need that like higher level intellect if you're going to be playing like Erinis Street Urchin at these large commander events.
And I want to highlight another strength that Kirkland just showed too is letting that Chain of Vapor get to the Thrasios player in seat 2 and forcing that Thrasios activation. So now everyone is tapped out of mana going into your turn.
Now he can confirm there is no interaction and this game is about to end. Like I said, Erinis Urchin here was probably favored as the game went on and kind of just almost manipulated his opponents through pure skill.
That was surgical.
To win right here.
That was
like, how much is Dockside making here? We were talking about that earlier, and it's going to be pivotal. It's making what, 1, 2, 3, 4?
4.
Yeah,
it makes 4. That's a popular.
I think you guys are so cooked.
I can't get over how surgically executed that was by Kirkland. I'm very impressed.
Extremely intelligent gameplay. This player is going to go far.
I wouldn't have thought of that. I would have been, yeah. I mean, that's why he's there, and I'm here. It looks like we are activating the top. We drew the docs. Wait, I'm sorry, was Dockside or Snoop on top of that pile? I believe it was Snoop, right?
I think it was Dockside.
Chat. I need you to rewind the footage, chat.
Snoop does not have haste, but generally players will put like a torch courier or something that they can get, especially with this top, and then give it haste, and that's really all that needs to be done.
Bada bing, bada boom.
This game here in its final moments here.
Yeah, I think unless we see some sort of big breakdown, and also thank you, Alex, for putting on the round timer. You are absolutely crushing it right now.
Dockside coming down. 4 treasures being created. Our opponents have nothing. Relic of Legends is online, but I don't think they have anything.
You can make what? 3? Oh, you can make 4 mana. You have 1 Thrasios activation from that, right?
Well, he has just tapped out of 2 of those creatures.
Rog. Oh, doesn't Rog tap for 2 though with the activation, and then you tap Relic for 2 with the Kinnan?
No, that's the Kinnan and Relic doesn't work like that. Come on.
Okay. I don't know.
Come now.
Last time I played against a Kinnan deck, I won a tournament. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I think same here, to be honest. There's actually 19 Kinnans at this event, 10% of the field, so get ready to see a lot of those.
I think that Dockside was the tried and true force check. You would burn a Force of Will on that, of all things, right? Especially on the Final Fortune turn, just to get it done.
Yeah. All right, there's a Snoop coming down, revealing the top, Torch Courier off the top. Torch Courier is going to get played for 1 mana. We're going to reveal the Kiki-Jiki. We're going to turn the we're going to give that thing haste. We're going to turn the Snoop into the Kiki-Jiki. And that's all she wrote.
I think this is like the definitive Snoop deck. This is the first time I've seen this combo win in a tournament.
I haven't seen this combo in a long time, but when it first came out, I had some locals who were really into it. So I would see it with like in Jund shells, really.
Yeah. I like this though. I mean, you trim some of the fat, you lose some of the tutor equity and going from Jund to Gruul, but clearly it's working, and Kirkland surgically executed this win attempt.
Alrighty.
We are doing it.
We're doing our thing. All right. Making another. Yeah, everyone's just like, okay, show me how this works.
Did we just lose?
I've never seen this before. I'm a cEDH newbie. I didn't play in the olden days. I only know how to play. I played when Rograk came out, so I don't know any of these combos.
Damn, Zane's spitting fire right now. So, what are those tokens representing? Is that floating mana, or is that copies and stuff?
I think those are copies. I think we're doing a Goblin Recruiter again, is what I understand.
And now, for the most part, you're really not casting, right? You're just kind of.
Nope, this just happens.
Yeah. Unless someone has a free mana stifle.
No, they don't have anything. They're done. They're cooked.
I mean, it's not over till it's over. I don't want to write anything off, but if
what an exciting game! What a turn of events, and just like high level Magic being played here in the first round at the largest cEDH event with the currently largest prize pool. Like,
yeah. I think if you're putting yourself in a situation where you're playing a deck that people I think would pan over, I don't think anyone would consider Gruul to be a top color pairing in cEDH.
They would consider it one of the worst, to be honest.
Yeah, that and Boros, right?
Yeah.
You're playing with training weights on, and you're in seat 4, so the pressure is on you to even try to attempt to win. And again, this is where Brewer's advantage, knowing your deck inside and out, Brewer's advantage coupled with skill we're seeing the results of that right now in this first round.
Like, I just want to highlight that, okay, there's a skirt cross-spector on top. This is going to allow some sacrificing to occur. I just want to highlight, like, once again, this is the type of Stax decks people should be striving to play. He landed the early Null Rod and then was like, okay, but I can kill my own Null Rod, or in this case, someone else did it for him, and just win the game through my combo. These Stax decks need to be executing this type of stuff. Yep, there's a Kiki Jiki being... Yeah.
And we have a Goblin Engineer. With the Vexing Shusher and so much mana, I don't know why his opponents are, or why their opponents are making them. I mean, I understand why. We're in a tournament. It's, as you said, the largest prize pool to date. We're going to beat that record in 2 months. But yeah, I'd rather go eat a breakfast burrito than sit here.
Yeah, I just eat some chocolate cream pie. I don't believe in a balanced breakfast. I believe in a coffee and a sweet little treat.
Well, I think science disproves that. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to TopTech.gg's coverage of how to eat a balanced meal. My name is Lauren, this is Zane. Stretch your poses.
Soas. Please stretch your Soas. That's how you win these cEDH tournaments. Last night I went to locals because I couldn't make Cowtown and I needed to blow off some steam. I was like destroying the locals there, and then I forgot to stretch my Soas before top 4, and I lost in top 4. Completely ridiculous gameplay by me.
Can you direct us to where the Soas are?
If you want to know where your Soas is, tune into the Health and Wellness podcast by Zane Nair. It's completely AI generated, and I don't speak a single thing of that. So, yeah. All right. So looks like we're pretty much ending here. We're just waiting for opponents to accept that they've lost the game. But yeah, just some explanation occurring. We know they don't have anything. No, there's no like deadly Rollick or anything to be afraid of. We're just explaining the combo. Our opponents are like in disbelief, and they're like, "No, show me. No, attack me. No, go to combat or whatever."
There we go.
And yep, there's the fist bumps.
All right.
Perfectly executed by Kirkland. I want to get this guy up here on the stream if we can for an interview. Like if I was toxic Zane on Twitter right now, I would just be like, damn, why are you bringing Gruul to these large tournaments, blah, 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 etc., etc. But no, they're extremely, extremely well executed.